I know people who've dropped $900 on a portable power station thinking it would save them in a blackout. Plug in the fridge, click, dead. How? They sold them a number that's half a lie. Today I'm showing you the spec brands never put front and center in their ads. You'll understand why some people get 2 full days out of $300 of gear, and others lose power at hour 4 with $3 grand. Before this video ends, I'm dropping the exact data point that changes everything. Leave too soon, you miss it. Stick around. This one matters. Let's get into it. PG&E shut off power to over 800,000 California homes during the fall 2024 PSPS events. Texas storm Heather knocked out 130,000 homes for 3 days. Hurricane Idalia hit Florida, and the lights stayed off in some areas for a full week. This isn't paranoid prepper territory anymore. This is reality. And most people who panic bought a power station after these events bought the wrong one. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what you actually need. No one's selling you anything. No fluff. First mistake almost everyone makes. You go on Amazon, you see a 1,000-watt power station, and you think, my fridge pulls 150 watts, so that's about 7 hours of runtime. Wrong. Power stations are sold with 2 specs, output watts and watt hours of capacity. These are different things, and the marketing plays with that confusion. Check this out. A standard 18 cubic foot refrigerator pulls 150 to 200 running watts. A 9,000 BTU window AC pulls 900 to 1,100 watts. A microwave that says 1,000 watts on the label actually draws 1,600 to 1,800 watts from the wall. Here's the trap. If your station has 1,000 watt hours of capacity, that's the battery, not the watts it can push out instantly. Want to run an 1,800 watt microwave on a station that maxes at 1,500 watts output? It won't even turn on, period. To plan correctly, you need 2 things. The appliance has to fit inside the output watts ceiling, and you multiply hours times consumption. 5 hours of 30-watt LED lights is 150 watt-hours. A fridge running at 50% duty cycle for 24 hours is about 1,800 watt-hours. Write that down. It's the real starting point for choosing gear. Now, the data point almost nobody explains, and it accounts for 90% of all failures. Any appliance with a motor or a compressor pulls 3 to 7 times its rated power during half a second when it starts up. It's called INRUSH current or starting surge, and it's just physics. Your 150-watt running fridge spikes to 600 to 1,200 watts for half a second when the compressor kicks on. Your 1,000-watt AC unit spikes to 3,000 to 3,500 watts at startup. Your washing machine that looks chill at 500 watts, when it heats water, it jumps to 2,300. If your station outputs 1,000 watts continuous but only 1,200 surge, you'll barely run the fridge. If your AC needs 3,000 watts to start and your station tops out at 2,700, the system goes into protection mode and shuts off. And you think it's broken. It's not broken. It's protecting itself from frying. Brands list 2 numbers, rated and surge. Rated is what it holds steady. Surge is what it can push for 1 or 2 seconds. Some, like EcoFlow with X-Boost or Anker with SurgePad, pull a trick. They drop the output voltage to deliver more wattage for a moment. Sounds great, but here's the catch. At low voltage, motors don't start properly. Motors need full voltage to spin up. X-Boost works for resistive loads like a heater or a hot plate, but not for inductive ones like an AC or fridge. The real rule: for a fridge, get a station with at least 2,000 watts of surge. For a small AC unit, you need 3,500 watts minimum, and ideally real surge, not software trickery. Third problem, you buy a 200-watt folding solar panel thinking you'll recharge your station in about 4 hours. Wrong again. The 200 watts on the spec sheet are under ideal lab conditions. Sun directly overhead, 77 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 clouds, 0 dust, brand new panel. In reality, that same panel produces 140 to 170 watts at peak and a lot less in the morning and evening. Here's real data measured by independent reviewers this year. An EcoFlow 220-watt panel maxes out at 195 watts real. A Bluetti 200-watt panel hits 165. A generic Amazon 200-watt panel, anywhere from 90 to 130 watts, almost half of what's advertised. The rule you have to remember: multiply manufacturer watts by 0.65 if it's a decent panel, and by 0.5 if it's a no-name brand. And that only applies between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. on a clear sky. A 1,000 watt-hour station with a real 200-watt solar panel needs 7 to 10 hours of strong sun to fully charge, not 5 hours like the marketing says. Cloudy area or winter, multiply by 2. None of this is on any spec sheet, but it's the truth. Fourth problem, this one is life or death, literally. Gasoline generators produce carbon monoxide, invisible gas, no smell, lethal in minutes. Honda, Champion, every serious manufacturer puts a clear warning on page 1 of the manual. Never run a generator inside your home, your garage, not even with the windows open. It kills. CDC data from 2024. 85 people die every year in the U.S. from generator CO poisoning. 99% of those cases were indoor or garage ventilated. The rule is simple: inside your house or a closed garage, battery only. 0 exceptions. Open patio, large balcony, outside with at least 10 feet of clearance from window. That's where gasoline becomes viable. Other trade-off: gasoline gives you near infinite runtime as long as you keep refueling, but it makes 70 to 85 decibels of noise. Batteries are silent. But when they're empty until you recharge them with sun or grid. For a short outage of a few hours, battery is the clear pick. For a long crisis lasting days or weeks, the smart combo is battery indoors during the day, plus a gas generator outside as backup. Generator always stays outside. Now the practical part. 4 tiers based on what you actually need and what you can afford. No fluff. Tier 1, $200 to $400. EcoFlow River 2 or equivalents, 256 watt-hours of capacity, 300 watts of output, runs your Wi-Fi, LED lights, phones, and a light laptop for 8 to 12 hours. Won't start your fridge. Forget about AC. It's the honest pick for someone who just wants to stay connected and lit during a short blackout, and for most people, that's enough. Tier 2, $700 to $1,000. The sweet spot: Anker, Solix, C1000, or EcoFlow Delta 2. About 1,000 watt-hours capacity, 1,800 watts continuous, 2,700 watts surge, handles your fridge easily, lights, Wi-Fi, small loads, even a power tool or hot plate for a short window. This is what I'd recommend for an average family in an apartment who wants to ride out a 12 to 24-hour outage. Tier 3, $1,200 to $1,800. Bluetti AC200L or EcoFlow Delta 2 Max, 2,000 watt-hours, 2,400 watts continuous, over 3,000 surge. Now you can run a fridge plus a small AC unit for 6 to 10 hours. A full-day outage covered with essentials. This tier is for people in storm-prone zones or larger homes. Tier 4, $2,500 to $3,800. EcoFlow Delta Pro 3 or Bluetti AC500 with B300S battery, 4,000 watt-hours plus, up to 8,000 watt surge, whole home or multi-day resilience if you pair it with solar panels. This is not for everyone. It's for areas with frequent and long outages or serious preppers. If you live in downtown LA and only lost power once last year, this isn't for you. If you're in rural Texas or wildfire country in California with frequent PSPS events, it makes a lot more sense. Now, what I promised, the part the brands don't want you to know. Trap 1, inflated capacity. When they sell you 1,000 watt-hours, you can really only use about 700 to 800 watt-hours before battery degradation kicks in fast. The serious brands declare this in small print. The bad ones don't. Real cost per usable watt-hour is always higher than advertised. Trap 2, X-Boost and Surge Pad are tricks. When you see 1,800 watts continuous, 2,700 watts X-Boost, the trick is that X-Boost drops output voltage from 120 volts down to about 95 to push more watts for a moment. At low voltage, motors don't start. It works for resistive loads, not inductive. If they sell it to you as can run an AC, they're half lying. Trap 3, cycles at 70% versus cycles at 80. EcoFlow and Bluetti usually advertise 3,000 cycles to 80% residual capacity. Other brands advertise 3,000 cycles, but at 70, which is significantly worse, and a lot of no-name Chinese brands offer 500 cycles, period. Always check the fine print before you pay. Trap 4. Fast charging accelerates degradation. Charging your station from 0 to 100% in 60 minutes is super useful, but every time you do it, you're shaving off lifetime. If most of your charges are slow, it lasts longer. If you always fast charge, you won't hit the advertised cycle count. They don't tell you that either. Honest summary. The right power station isn't the most expensive one. It's the one that fits your home, your real use, and your budget. For most people watching this, Tier 1 or Tier 2 solves 90% of the problem. You only need Tier 3 or Tier 4 if you have real reasons. Not fear, not marketing. In the description, I'm dropping the Tecnorama Blackout Zero Kit 2026 with my recommended product per tier, plus all the direct Amazon links. If you want to see specific solar panels to pair with this, I have a top 5 best solar generators 2026 updated. And if you want to see which brands are pushing pure marketing smoke, watch my scam expose on the most sold generators. You'll be surprised. Next video, how to connect one of these power stations to your home's electrical panel without dying or burning your wiring. It's called a transfer switch. It exists, and done wrong, you can electrocute the utility worker fixing your street's line. It matters. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching to the end. See you next time.